Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now today we are going to talk about what can we expect about getting vaccinated for COVID. If you are new to the channel, I'm Dr. Han. I'm so happy you find my channel. Now in this channel, you will find science review content, update on the latest global health topic. I also like to share tips and tricks for students' academic and personal development. If these are your interested topic, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you have already subscribed, thank you very much for coming back for another week of my video. So last Monday on November 9th, Pfizer released a big news about their vaccine claiming more than 90% effectiveness. Now, there are news everywhere about this vaccine. So today, instead of talking directly about these vaccines, let's look at the logistic, the distribution and allocations of these vaccines for the general public. So today we are going to look at what the public can expect about getting the vaccines for COVID-19. First, a disclaimer, this video is my interpretation summary of publicly available scientific information. This video does not serve as any advice on prevention, treatment, and diagnosis of any diseases, and I have no affiliations with any of the organizations or company mentioned in the video. So first, let's look at the background. On November 9th, Pfizer and its partner BioNTech released a press statement claiming their vaccine for COVID-19 had more than 90% effectiveness in preventing the disease. Now, the study also claiming including a large, diverse populations up to 42%. Now, no other serious safety concerns is being released by the company. Now, to learn more about how this mRNA vaccine works, I have videos down in the description box below. So there are some previous videos I have already produced explaining how this type of a vaccine would work. So today we are looking at different facts. First fact is the emergency use authorizations versus full approval. Now, so here Pfizer is only seeking a EUA, i.e. emergency use authorizations for their COVID vaccine at this time. Now, EUA is a much faster approval process in the US FDA. Now, it still needs to prove safety and efficacy, Now, Pfizer expects this EUA would be granted by the US FDA by the third week of November, which is very soon. However, full approval usually need additional 2 months of evaluations to look at other parameters. Second fact, the vaccine storage and transportations. Now, one of the biggest drawbacks of Pfizer's COVID vaccine is the requirement for storage at -70 degrees Celsius. Now, this will require laboratory to have a very deep freezer for long-term storage. Many smaller facilities do not have such equipment. Now, on the other hand, it can be stored under dry ice, frozen carbon dioxide. It would keep the vaccine at -70 degrees Celsius with proper thermal packaging. Now, this all combined have some problem in terms of leading to limited distributions initially, and also it will tie to the supplies of dry ice. These are something that the company need to sort it out before mass distribution. Fact 3. Who's advising on the immunization practice? Now, currently there is an advisory committee called the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, ACIP, under the CDC. Now, this committee have a small work group called the COVID-19 Vaccine Work Group have been meeting weekly about how should we giving out these vaccines to the public. And the whole committee meet monthly since June, to talk about these COVID-19 vaccine distributions. So the topic they've been discussed it's a lot, including vaccine prioritizations, implementations, and also phase 1 allocations, and many more. Now, let's look at one of those things. How will the vaccine be prioritized? All right, here is a figure showing you a breakdown, okay, of how these vaccines would be distributed at different phases. All right, this is captured from the CDC website or the ACIP meeting result. Okay, initially showing you that the supply of vaccines overall would be very limited. Okay, it will be reserved mostly for the people that needed it most. That is those healthcare providers and people with high risk. And at this later stage, when the dose amount has increased, it will slowly distribute to other critical workers and younger children and adults. And lastly, as the vaccine continue to produce, okay, there will be distributed to other people in the populations. Now let's look at Fact 5. What is phase 1 allocations for the vaccine? Now, phase 1 is the initial supplies of vaccine. So we're expecting about 200 million of courses nationally. Now, one course of vaccines equals 2 doses. It will require 2 separate doses to complete the vaccinations. Okay, initially it would be 200 million. All right, now out of that 200 million courses of vaccines, about 20 million of those will first go to healthcare personnel, so-called the phase 1A. Now, and then the remaining of those will go to phase 1B, will be given to adults aged 65 years or older, adults with high risk medical conditions, and essential workers. These informations were discussed during the ACIP committee meeting in October 30th. So what are the take-home message here? The Pfizer's vaccines must be transported and stored at negative 70 degrees Celsius. Now, it really provides some challenging in the logistics of its supply chain. Pfizer is seeking emergency use authorizations from the US FDA by the 3rd week of November, which would be very soon. Now, initially, vaccine supplies is very likely to be limited, and they are mostly reserved for healthcare workers, older people, high-risk adults, and essential workers. To learn more, here are the links that tie back to the Pfizer's press release and CDC websites and documents where I got the information, so you can check it out in greater detail. So I hope this video provided some extra info on the logistics of the vaccine supply. Now don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. That's all for this week's COVID-19 update, and I'll see you again next Sunday at 7 p.m. Bye!